Joanne, what we'll do is what we do with historical sexual assault things, and I can explain it for the purpose of the media, insofar as if people want to validate an experience that's happening or from the past, I do a declaration. And in that declaration, you are declaring that what you've declared is true, and that the questions that are asked are around your the declaration and whether that is factual.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Okay, so whilst it's not that quick fire type of test. It's not the 10 questions, bang, 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 asked them in different ways. But what it is that gives the retina scanner an opportunity to read you.
What normal looks like, a baseline.
Baseline between questions. So the other one asked a question every 7.5 seconds.
Yes.
This one asks a question every 15 seconds.
Okay.
And it seems like it's a bit of a lag. It captures much more data.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, it's probably not going to matter about anything, but fluorescent lights bother my eyes. Is that going to be a problem? Because they get sore. I just get really sore.
We'll tune it down
you go.
a little bit. Yeah, sorry, Joanne. Obviously, that's important. So we'll,
it's okay.
We'll tune that down.
Yeah, it's actually for fluorescent lights.
Okay.
So I don't know whether you can just turn them off and we can go in natural light, or is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, we'll get to that point and we'll do that. I'm not sure about the filming, but we'll figure that out when it comes.
Okay.
So
the only other way we can do it is move in the dark room in natural light, or
we'll see how we go here.
Yeah.
It might be.
I'll probably be okay, but what happens is my eyes just get sorer and sorer. So I've got what's called Irlen syndrome, right? And it's got to do with how my brain interprets light.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I wear tinted glasses. Anyway, so
yeah, cool. So
and actually I was going to say
the questions.
Yep.
And then we do the test. Then you get the result. So some of it's sexy, some of it's a bit boring.
Okay.
And I say to younger people, and of course they're happy to do it, play on your phone.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
You know.
That's all right. I don't need to play on my phone.
But it's a funny generational thing. You've got 60-year-olds. Have you had any diseases? No. You ask a 20-year-old if they've got, this is in Sydney, have you got any medical problems? And they have everything. And you go, what? Something's gone wrong here.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah.
Or as a sort of sheltered sort of Queenslander, I go down to Sydney and do tests and go, and have you had any drugs in the last 24 hours? And people go, I've had this, and you go, oh my God, are you even functioning?
Yeah. No, that sounds really good. Like, I'm just keen for you to just put me through your standard process. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
And
tell me.
Over that time, and also first responders, so I used to go and do threat briefs at Emergency Management Australia and all that sort of thing,
wow, nice.
Where you get all the jurisdictional police go there. And anyway, but over 5 years, I think it was 5 years, I just built up such a respect for them, and I just felt really privileged to be able to work with them.
Yeah, sure.
Because they just, I just found, they literally do go and put their lives on the line.
Yeah, they do.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, I don't know, your story sort of made me think about that, because I do have this and it's drawn me back to want to work with that community so many times.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago now, but
yeah. Wow,
I'm starting to show my age.
No, God, no. That's amazing. I'm off to Bali next week, so let's not talk about the bombing.
Well, hopefully
I haven't been there for 25. I haven't been there since
really?
since first.
Right.
First
wow.
Yeah.
So you went over there then around that time? Or
yeah, I was a young man, and I was very young in the 90s, by the way.
Yes.
And I was over there every 5 minutes surfing because I was a very, very keen surfer. And going back, I haven't been there for 25 years, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I went to, what is it, the memorial they've got there near is it Paddy's Club? I can't remember the name of the clubs and stuff, but
Paddy's
we went there on one of our trips over there, and it's just, I don't know, yeah.
Sad for the locals too, of course.
Yeah,
It's terribly
absolutely.
sad for them,
Yeah.
Yeah, back to Bali, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm not even taking the surfboard this time though.
So I'm not really big, and I don't have Roman numerals over my face.
Yeah, I know, it was crazy. Anyway, they were interesting.
Yep.
Joanne, your surname is?
Banyer, so Banyer. Joint middle name as well.
No, that's fine, Joanne. And your address? mobile again. Okay, so this is a bit of a double up here. Your age now is?
56. I'm getting old.
No, you don't look that at all.
Well, thank you very much.
Born in 67, 68.
67.
Yep. So 1967, what's your...
Oh, the 9th of the 9th.
What would you say your occupation is, Joey? So this is the sort of the obviously the part of the test which I do with everybody.
Yep.
The medical history form, it's just a glance. It doesn't have to be, you know, everything in your life. It's basically if you can do the test, essentially.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So in the last 24 hours, have you taken any? And obviously.
That's okay. You can ask anything.
Okay.
Right?
In the last 24 hours, have you taken any medication, drugs, alcohol, marijuana, social or recreational drugs?
I had a scotch last night.
One scotch.
One scotch.
Normally that's about 40 minutes for some Sydney 20-year-old, I can tell you. Why staggered?
No drugs.
Are you under sort of chronic doctor's care? And
No.
This is obviously all in confidence.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah. Chronic medication?
No.
Have you had eye or nerve damage?
No.
Heart problems?
No.
High or low blood pressure?
No.
Cataracts?
No.
Eye surgery?
No.
Epilepsy?
Yeah.
Glaucoma?
No.
Diabetes?
No. I'm opposite to a diabetic. Hypoglycemia.
Hypoglycemia?
Yeah, it's the opposite. I don't take insulin or anything like that, but that's why I got rid of a little thing of nuts and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, if I can go the absolute opposite.
How are you feeling at the moment? Are you feeling any discomfort or pain at the moment?
No, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay. Are you under a psychiatrist's care?
No.
Do you wear glasses?
Yes, just for reading and computer work.
Have you used eye drops in the last 24 hours?
No.
Okay, so...
So you realise after today that you guys will be able to take, go for jobs now in police stations where you're supporting this kind of interview.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're doing the test by your own free will,
Mm-hmm.
without any duress, conducted by me on behalf of Lie Detection Australia. And you understand if you don't like the results, you can't sue me, essentially.
Yeah, I understand that.
Forget about that. And I release the results to you, and they remain your IP under triple authentication here. So no one will ever access it.
Yeah.
Just you get the IP.
And I'm allowed to post it on
You
the
and
website?
you can use it.
Oh, I can use it.
It's
Oh,
up to you.
It's like copyright.
It's your property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Once I give it to you, it's all yours.
All right. And you're happy for your company to be referenced
I am,
as in
yes.
doing the test?
Indeed. And the results are released to you on full payment, but you've paid, so the results are released to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when there's so some people will employ me to get the results of a test, and if they pay, the results go to them, but the examinee doesn't know, particularly around fidelity. It's a bit murky, but that's how it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Fidelity is a murky space.
So you do keep a record of it yourself?
Of
In
these?
the company? No, the actual outcome.
Yeah, so the
Yep.
the PDFs are on the Converus server under triple authentication, so
Yeah.
no one will get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And so what about the actual, the eye scanning part of that, so the file associated with that? Do you keep that, or is that something that you also provide, or?
So it's the eye scan obviously does the assessment, and then it goes into a PDF, and then the PDF is somehow watermarked over there, but that's what you get.
Yeah.
And all the tests, it's really sophisticated.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be very keen to ask you a bit more about it afterwards. So.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yep.
There is a lot. So I'll just sign the medical history form, Joanne, down the bottom, and then midway just to say you're happy to do the test, and then at the bottom to say the results go to you.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm sorry if you sort of expedient
No, it's all right.
process.
Don't worry. I am used to doing security clearance processes. So.
Yeah, I know you are.
Okay. So I'll just
Not all of it's going to be exciting. Sorry.
More worried about you
Then
guys.
jump up and do some star jumps this morning. I'll just log into this using a different laptop today, and then we'll crack into the question. We'll get a snapshot into a declaration, and then I'll program this these questions but as discussed, to represent your like we discussed in relation to historical events for people. The best way to validate that is to put a framework down onto a declaration, and then we test on that declaration.
Yeah, sure.
And as I say, and as Steve would say, and Converis would say, it actually captures a lot more data because you have to dwell on the answer.
Oh, okay, rightio.
So whilst
Yep.
people feel that they need lots of questions to get their money's worth,
Yeah.
on the contrary, in this case, when it's
Yeah.
about a full disclosure, which you're going to do, it's
Yeah.
full disclosure. Whether
Yeah.
it's a full disclosure, it just needs to be enough. Your mind really cleaves with the responses in your retina, a true or false response. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do the declaration now. So you've had...
can I just ask a quick question? So when I'm answering questions, can I mean, is it like a straight yes and no, or is
True
it...
or false.
Oh, it's a true and false. Okay, rightio.
You'll be fine.
No, it's kind of like, because sometimes it can come down to scenarios of things, like, I don't know if you would have done possibly security clearance stuff in the past, maybe, I don't know, but
I think...
sometimes depending on the scenario, you would answer yes or no, that's all.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I do get that. I think what's important is to sort of go, what we're saying is that from this date, and I'll be guided by your words, so it doesn't need to be.
Sure.
So it's from this date, you've had these experiences which include, sort of try and bundle them up as much as you can. And these experiences are happening constantly, and that, we'll flesh it out as we go.
Okay, that sounds really good.
Okay, so we'll sort of do a bit of a dry run. So it's from a date or around a time. And like, say for instance, if it's Fidelity, it's St. Paddy's Day 2017. It's something that you can remember. I don't know why I use St. Paddy's Day, because the other day wasn't, but it's something that you can remember. So a time in your life that you can remember, you began having experiences that are related to, and
so I'll just sort of explain it, because in my head I see it as like three things. So even from the age of about 5, right, I had some experiences. Okay, and sort of on and off a little bit, but nothing sort of major. And
what sort of experiences?
Like when I was 5, I woke up, I was sharing a room with my sister in my grandmother's house in Gawler in South Australia, and I was really little. Anyway, she was sleeping on the bed and I was sleeping on the floor next to her, and it was really, really hot and I couldn't sleep. And anyway, so I turned around and I thought she was sitting up in bed. So I started talking to her and I said, can't you sleep either? And then she didn't respond, and then I sort of woke up even more and realised that she was lying down, and that like basically full apparition spirit was sitting up exactly where she would sit up in that bed. And I could describe it, like I saw her very, very clearly, what she was wearing, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, and I got absolutely bloody petrified, and I pulled the blankets over my head, and finally got up enough guts to run to the door and run out to where my parents were staying. So there was that sort of thing, and I've had weird dreams like around that age. And then you know, I've always had an open mind about, you know, ghosts and spirits and things like that. But I've never, you know, went fishing for it really in a sense. Mucked around with what do they call them, the pendulums. You know, with the old wives' tale, you can use those to tell if someone's having a girl or a boy or whatever anyway. But then it was like for months leading up to my dad's death, I was experiencing localised vibrations on the bed, and I couldn't work it out anyway. I was trying to understand what it was, and then on the day he died, it actually let me touch it, and that's when I knew beyond doubt that there is intelligent energy, you know, beyond us. Okay, and it's not something that you're taught in school and know what it is, or in my circles of being and, you know, community of people growing up and working, etc. And then it's almost like to me it's like spirit sort of gave me like a grieving period or something, or maybe like they're always connected to your consciousness. They know what you're thinking as you think it. But then a number of years later, in June, I think it was the 3rd or the 4th, I can't remember exactly, it's in the journals, what date, of June, early June 2018, was when it was like spirit hit me over the head with a baseball bat, and it was just full on ever after that.
Yeah.
So,
and what does that represent? So how can you best describe that?
And I'll do the best I can. There's a lot more details in the journals.
Yeah. I guess I understand that I've got to compress everything into a test that you will be able to talk to. So there's the period from when I was a little girl, where it was, I would say, often people have, you know, sort of interesting experiences I can't explain. Maybe not everybody. Yeah. And then there was the time leading up to my dad's death, and energy letting me touch it, intelligent energy letting me touch it. That was absolutely the crucial turning point for me. I knew the significance of it. And to humanity. And then a number of years later in 2018 was the other absolute key point. And the difference with that was I allowed the spirit energy to move into my body, and it stayed like for, I don't know, at least 24 hours or something, and its vibration rate was really high. It actually made me feel sick and nauseous. And when I came downstairs the next morning, my dogs looked at me, and I knew that they knew that there was something more than me. And anyway, but that's when it started. So it wasn't scary or it wasn't frightening. You know, and basically spirit has been with me ever since then. And I experienced spirit, particularly early on, stimulate, well, it still does this now, but a lot more full on, much earlier on, stimulating sort of physical senses, you know, how we pick up information in the physical world. And then as it's gone along over time, experiencing spirit in other ways. So, how can I explain it? So on the other side, which is the whole thing like around the meditation side, or even just when you're in a super relaxed state. So experiencing, seeing them and things play out in scenes. Anyway, look, there's a lot for me I can talk about, and there's 11 books, right? So it's kind of like, where do you want me to go with that? And I guess it's almost like when, and whilst it sounds, it might be best to include that the contents about your interactions with the spiritual world in the book Awakening, and
so it's the book series. So I think it's really important. I think it's really important here that we cover the whole series, because I know now, because just, you know, in the last number of months, that the last book on this part of my journey with spirit is finished.
Right.
And Awakening is about. So it's, you know, it's obviously awakening to the existence of intelligent energy, but also I would summarise it as awakening to understanding all that you are, so not just what you are living in a physical sense, but all that you are, why you are here, and I would say glimpses into what lies beyond, because what lies beyond, from what I can tell, is incredibly, I don't know, extensive.
Yeah, sure.
And the other thing along this whole process's journey that I've learned is that my experiences, what I learn, any abilities that I have, it is completely geared around what my purpose in this life is.
Yeah.
And no more than that. So just because somebody awakens in a sense doesn't mean all of a sudden you can do all this stuff.
No.
For me, it's very much based around what my purpose is in this life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that's, no.
Where do you
I
go?
know I've got to set, there's fan Nick, and then there's Nick who has to get this test done.
Yeah, no, we can, which is why we got the whole afternoon, because we can talk more about,
Yeah.
we can talk fan Nick later.
Fan Nick. So I think for the expedience of the software, the testing and making sure that we get accurate answers,
Yeah.
we'll do the declaration. I think we need to just touch on, and this is what you do, this is what I do with the sexual assault people, is you go, okay, there's all that, there's an absolute quagmire of things there.
Yeah,
Key points that drove your behaviours, your understanding, you know.
yeah,
So I think the early stuff, the localised vibrations around your father's death in early June, that the complete awareness of spirit and everything that
allowing spirit energy into my body.
allowing spirit energy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we talk about the all the content of the books.
Yes, the
Awakening,
series,
the
yeah.
series
11 books series, yeah.
is true and correct,
Yep.
and that'll cover it.
So to the best of my ability, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what.
So, and I think the key thing there is it's non-fiction, it's not fiction, it's non-fiction. So I'm writing, as Austin Macaulay said, you know, they've classified it as a memoir. So
yeah.
I'm basically providing my accounts of my experiences to the best of my ability that I can.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm not making it up.
Not making it up.
Yep.
That well, we might even start with the contents. Awakening
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah. So probably, yeah, the Awakening series.
Awakening series, yeah.
Yeah.
These 11 books,
Yes. 11 journals.
11 journals,
In each journal, there'll be a book for each journal.
an accurate reflection, an accurate recollection.
Yes. And it's almost word for word. Like I
sure.
met a medium years ago, was introduced to one, and she thought I possibly channel spirit while I'm writing.
Yeah, right.
Channels.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I would have to say it is incredibly fluent when I do. And
Just-
you can talk to Ray about that. And Ray's he really struggles with believing anything. Like at least he doesn't laugh at me anymore, which is really good. And he says that, you know, just because it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, sort of thing. So, yeah, like he's used to that where
Yep.
sometimes I'll just, you know, wake up in the morning and I'll get my journal out and I'll just off I go and
Wow.
and it's really fluent. So I normally don't plan what is in it.
Don't you?
No, absolutely not.
Just sit down, off you go.
Well, it's based on what I've been experiencing. So whether that is interaction with spirit energy or whether it's information that they've led me to and I'm trying to put it together in my
Yeah.
mind, what does it mean?
Yeah, sure.
Which I've had a fair bit happening just recently.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just write it down. And they are there. Like this is even in the journal, like very, very early on. I picked up that, so Warwick is the key spirit guy that came in at that time, and he's a Native American Indian. And then anyway, and then it sort of goes on from there, and I met another one elder anyway. I won't go into all of that, but you know, I'd start writing in my journal, and there's a very basic form of communication I have with them, which is one of my huge frustration points, because I want more than anything to have a good dialogue with them, Anyway, so they touch my cheeks, and I would say it's from the inside, is how I would describe it. So I'll feel touches on my cheek. So the right cheek means yes, the left cheek means no. And as I'm writing, as I'm writing, so as I said, they know your thoughts as you're having them, okay? So as soon as you're having that thought, they're getting the information as well.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll be writing a sentence down, a recollection or whatever, and I'll get particularly if it's something really important, they'll touch my right cheek, reinforcing that, agreeing with that, and I write that down in the journal. If I get something a bit wrong sometimes, they'll actually touch my left cheek to say, yeah, you haven't got that quite right.
Wrong direction. Wow.
But they don't do it all the time. It's just, but it is, it's pretty regular.
Sure.
So, I think I've written it even in the first book, saying that to me it's a collaboration. Like we're a team. So I'm part of that team.
Yeah.
I just happen to be the person who's on the physical side.
Dimension,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, wow.
It's very cool.
It's very cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like that it's fun.
Yeah. Well, fun and I don't know. I mean, it's serious. Some of it's quite serious stuff, and
I'm sure.
But anyway, digressing.
So we've covered off the books. And sort of like just guide me. Like we've got to keep it reasonably simple. So these experiences began when I was 5 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. These types of experiences.
Yeah, but not the same. So that's the other thing with all of this. It's ever evolving.
Okay, we'll put that at the end.
It is well and truly ever evolving. It is not. It doesn't remain the same. Sometimes, I still experience some things that are the same, like the basic touchings on the cheek and that sort of stuff.
What did you say about the localised vibrations? That you sense localised vibrations?
I can feel it.
Yeah, from the age of 5.
Oh no! That came in at
for
months leading up to my dad's death. For months, I even got on Google and tried to start researching what world it could be, because it was so frustrating, and I didn't know whether it was Ray. I didn't think so, because he has what's called this jumpy leg syndrome thing. And anyway, but I didn't think it was like that, because it was a high rapid vibration.
Yep.
And it was localised, so to be in different places on the bed, normally sort of on the lower parts of the bed.
Did you call it intelligent vibrations?
Well, no, I just call it localised vibration, because it wasn't until like the day that my dad died that when it let me touch it, that I knew that there was, that there's definitely intelligent energy beyond what we know.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't too boring for you guys.
Such a boring topic.
That's okay. No,
You should sit through a normal test. God almighty, some of the questions. The fidelity is the key thing. And it is an absolute, there's an epidemic.
Yeah.
There's an epidemic of infidelity.
Yeah.
No one manages to do it I don't think people do it anymore. Or if they do, they're doing it wrong.
What commitment to
a
committed relationship?
So there's the young ones just have no clue. the older people, because of dating and access, and they don't know where their boundaries are around. And their men's and women's roles are absolutely out the door nowadays. So people don't know how to be honourable, and it's just a big bloody mess.
Yeah,
it is. It's a big mess. And then relationships fall apart, and no one has the tools to get back, and it's just like all I'd end up doing is counselling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of the cultural things in Sydney, like you have a Lebanese boyfriend. The shop in Queensland, Lebanese boyfriend, Australian, and it's just like, who have you slept with before me?
Yeah.
My God, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
let that shit go, dude.
I know.
You can pay me $1,100 and I'll test if she slept with someone else if you want me to. For God's sakes. You know what I mean?
It's just look, I don't know. I'm kind of glad. I mean, I'm kind of glad the stage of life I'm in now, because and particularly with everything we're going on with Spirit, I'm on this different path, and I just don't want anything to do with any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, and I think I've tested a lot of older people have, and this is what I found, a lot of older people have sat on issues too, and then they eventually go, I've got to get it tested. When did it happen? 25 years ago. So for 25 years, you've had these concerns about your partner. It's like, it's a
You can imagine how that'd go down in court.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they'd take it too seriously, would they?
No, that's basically, people don't want it for any purpose other than they want to find out if someone's slept with someone. But then I had a lady from North Queensland.
Oh, maybe it's always impacted their relationship.
Yeah, it's impacted their relationship.
Oh, right, okay.
Like who did, and I ended up testing this lady who was broken by this guy's jealousy. And it was about who she kissed before they met. And it's just like, okay, and
That
it's
sounds
just,
very controlled.
it's weird, it's controlling. And I said to that woman, I said, look, this relationship is done.
Yeah.
And I always say, and I'll be open with, you need to look at what's happening in their camp.
Yeah.
Because if they're pulling you apart,
Yeah.
there's very frequently something going on, Or FIFO is terrible.
Oh, the
FIFO is
flying-
just a
is that the
disaster
flying
for
fire
relationships.
thing? Yeah.
So you go to North Queensland, it's always like...
Yeah.
And one more story.
Okay.
Sorry, Joanne.
No,
Your
it's
stories
okay.
are more interesting.
No, you go.
But and then... And finally, in early... the relationship with these entities, or from early June 2018, what would you say? So from
from early June 2018. I think it was the 3rd of June. Anyway, it's kind of annoying me at the moment because I can't remember.
That's
It's
okay.
It's in the
I
journal.
experienced a spirit enter.
Yeah. So instead of just feeling spirit energy like local vibrations around me, and I could actually also feel it moving on the bed, right?
Yeah.
I allowed, well, it just did anyway. So the spirit energy moved into me.
Yeah. It remained for 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly there the next morning, right? And it was anyway. Well, actually, no, it went on longer because it came and went. Over about 2 weeks, it was just absolutely full on, and I was getting really sleep deprived.
Yeah, sure.
Because when the spirit finds it easiest to interact with you when you're in a really relaxed state, when you're sort of in altered states of consciousness,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Anyway, so I was getting really, really tired because this, spirit energy was interacting. And it was really lovely. Like, it's really lovely, nice sensations.
Yeah.
So there was nothing scary about it at all. But of course, I didn't talk to anybody about it because nobody would believe me.
No.
Anyway, that started my whole process of
And that's what I want.
trying to research and understand what was going on.
This experience, amongst others, has driven me to, has motivated me to write the book.
Knowing the significance of knowing the significance to humanity is what really motivated me to do it. And then this other person, John, who's also in the books, and he's got a continued role. He's also a part of this, by the way.
Yeah.
He's part of the team.
Yeah.
Anyway, he, towards the end of the first journal, he was encouraging me to write it up, like because I was sharing. So he does paranormal investigations in Canada, but he's also got a business. He does that on the side. He's been doing it 20 odd years or whatever. And he's got a really interesting team actually. They've got a historian person on their team. I think there's a couple of mediums, and then John. I think there's another technical person who I'm not sure who that is. But anyway. So he's been around this sort of stuff, and and he invented this device called the Panabox, and that's how I got onto him, because I was so frustrated. I want to be able to have a dialogue with spirit, and so I thought, I'll try the EVP devices or whatever they use to see if I could get anything. And anyway, so there was a YouTube video that I watched that mentioned about this Panabox. And I thought, right, I'm going to so I Googled that, and that's how I got onto this guy called John. And he was amazing. Like, he provided I gave him some insight as to what had been going on. he provided me a really considered response. So straight away I thought, this guy's got integrity, because he said, why don't you try this, this and this first? That is a lot cheaper than buying a Panabox thing. And anyway, and I just said, oh, I don't suppose you happen to know, you know, can refer me to any mediums or whatever, because, you know, being in my line of work in circles or whatever, I don't know anyone who does any of that stuff.
No.
And anyway, he referred me to a person who did do stuff on his investigation team,
Yeah.
and Jules Sterling is her name, and anyway, so I went up with her. Yeah, anyway, I'm just really digressing and going off.
No,
on
that's
kind
okay.
of-
We'll try and process the test.
Yeah.
And then, so
Sorry.
So-
So John encouraged me to write the books up as journals as well. So it sort of was multifaceted, right? I knew the significance to humanity. I thought in my head, oh, maybe one day I might write this up. I started to realise as I was getting further on in the journal, I was thinking, just actually, this is pretty important stuff. And anyway, so kind of it just grew from there. Yeah.
It's hard. These concepts
Yeah.
into lie detection software. It's a square peg. It's a round hole. So we need to do what we can
Yeah.
to make it what you know in yourself is true, and then we test on that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
sorry if it's not.
No, it's all right. And as I've apologised to these guys so many times, because I don't get much opportunity to talk about this stuff.
Fair enough.
Whenever it does come up, I do tend to go on.
No.
And I can just go on and on and on about it. But and hopefully, actually, there's one here now. Anyway, so I see shadow shapes around me, and there's one
right.
here at the moment.
What?
And they're the same ones. I'm pretty sure that they're part of the team on the other side. That's kind of interesting. Other people don't see it, but
Yeah, I bet.
it's another technology I need to come across is what can pick up, you know. Well, I came across it. There is technology that can. So what it does is
Don't mind me if I'm
it
typing.
filters out all sources of known sources of energy, right? And then it looks for unknown sources of energy. And this is used like in the aviation industry and other places like that, because and you can imagine we just use it too. Because any technology device, it puts out energy signatures, right? Emits them. And so my understanding is there's a way to be able to, you know, understand those sources, use it as a filter that out, but then capture unknown sources of energy signatures. So I'm really hoping, I don't know, like one day maybe to somehow come across that kind of technology. But look, I mean, the other thing that I say throughout these journals is that, like, I feel it's not my role to go on and prove the existence of intelligent energy. You know, I'd like to participate if there was opportunities to, it made sense in the research, but it's, I'm hoping as it goes along, the information gets richer in these journals, and I'm hoping that that one day, you know, just the right people are going to read it, who are bright sparks or scientists or whatever, and it helps them in some way to then go on and prove stuff. Yeah. That's what
I'm just gonna. This is somewhat of the boring. So don't take this.
That's all right. You take whatever.
No, take whatever you want.
That's
Just
Okay.
But keep chatting. It's just that I've got to type now and get it into the program.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to you.
So, and I'm comfortable in my zone, you know, doing what I do, and, you know, circles I'm in. I mean, comfortable to a certain extent. You know, the more I've gone on with Spirit, the more it sort of opens up, you know, your whole thinking about things and everything. And like everybody else, you know, I worry about the world and what is happening in the world, which is a key driver for why I've done a lot of what I've done in my own line of work. But I think, a key challenge for you guys, maybe as we go along and things get a bit more proactive or a bit more active, is me coming out of that. So, you know, like I said to Kevin very early on, I said I'm very happy to go and sort of hide, in a sense, go into like seclusion and just have my time with Spirit and have all this stuff, you know, published and all that. But I did know, which is why I put my name on the book in the end instead of anonymous, which is what it was accepted under, was that I would need to be able to talk to people about the books and what had happened. So it's kind of, I find it challenging, in that, gonna have to, more and more, I think, just gradually, step by step, shift out of what I'm doing, all that sort of, what I know, I mean, I know about all of this, but only in my own context. It's interesting stuff. So is your family here in Australia, or where are they?
No, they
Back to the declaration, and then I'll explain the test again, and have faith in the retina test scan, right? Have faith in it. It's very, very accurate.
I don't
So-
do faith, I'm sorry. Anyway, it's okay. Sure.
So this is how it'll sound. You've recently filled out a declaration and asked about your experiences since the age of 5 and states, and that states the contents of the Awakening journals is true and correct, right? The declaration represents a true account of what has occurred to you. Sorry, I'll just make some changes. And I'll make some changes as I go. That has occurred to you and is happening in an ongoing way. You're asked to be honest and disclose all details on the form. Now, we're not disclosing all details, we're disclosing honest details. So this test will ask if you omitted, lied about, or left out any information.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that-
left out
No, but
information.
you have
that's
left,
hard.
you've left out things, but.
Yeah, I have.
So
Well,
we're not-
because there's just so much.
Yeah, there's so much.
I have
Well-
trouble remembering.
Well, how about, we'll say that you lied
okay.
about. This test will ask if you lied about.
No, so, or made up even. Because
Yes, that's
to
what I asked
me,
if you,
so a fiction book
Made
is
up.
people make it, they make it up.
Made up
right?
information
So, yeah, so I don't make it up.
in your declaration. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, cool. Then you've made up information in the declaration. You claim to have been honest, provided true, correct recollection of events in the Journal of Awakenings, and from the age of 5.
Well, from the age of 5, but it wasn't until.
No, well, it's on the we're talking on the declaration, so.
And I'm a shocker because I'm a trained scientist. I tend to
I know,
be
but
pretty accurate.
we've got science v
And
something that's very
intelligence.
difficult to test. So you're just going to have faith, Joanne, with me. Whether you have faith in things or not, you're going to have to understand that this is the way to go. So you claim to have been honest and provided true and correct recollection of events in the Journal of Awakenings.
Yeah, in the series, if you can say the the awakening. It's probably best to say the series, and the reason why is I want when people read this stuff or know or I talk about it, I want them to know I'm talking about the full series here. I'm not just
Okay.
talking about the first
Okay,
book.
yeah.
I'm talking about the whole series,
Yeah.
Awakening series. Yeah.
This test will ask you the opportunity to show you're being truthful about that declaration. Yeah?
You could probably also ask me, do I know you? Like, did I know of you
It's
before?
different. It's a different concept.
You want to put it separate?
And it's a different test.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, that's all right.
Again, this just asks you to be truthful on declaration. In other words, you provide true information on the form. And confirm that you did tell the truth in relation to the Awakening Journal series, the Awakening series.
Just Awakening series.
Series, right, okay. Yep. Sorry if I'm a bit didactic.
No, it's just probably easier for you to say. It's not a
Yep.
natural thing to say Awakening Journal series.
Awakening series. Awakening.
Well, maybe do you reckon you should say journal series? Maybe you should.
That's fine. It doesn't sound brilliant, but it
Awakening
still
Journal
makes sense.
series.
Yeah.
Journal series.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. You'll be asked if you're made up. Now, you understand science enough to know that it's a lie detection test, so there's a baseline,
Mm-hmm.
there's telling the truth, and there's lying. So you have to lie.
Oh, gosh, okay, all
You
right.
have to lie about very obvious questions that I need you to lie to. So I'm going to give you a spiel. So all the directed lie questions will start in the phrase, in your entire life as an adult. So when you hear the phrase, in your entire life as an adult, you immediately recognise that question is must lie to. Okay, it's really important. So you've got truth, baseline, lie, have to lie. Software, it needs data.
Yeah, I can understand that. So
So-
what is it in your entire adult life?
Yeah,
Is
in
that
your
what you're
entire
saying?
life as an adult.
Or entire life.
In your entire life as an adult, just hand it over to me, Joanne, for a sec, let me drive. In your entire life as an adult,
We're dancing now.
have you ever broken, yeah, I like that because life's a dance, isn't it? In your entire life as an adult, have you ever broken a rule? This question starts with your entire life as an adult, so you should recognise that it's a question you should lie to. You should answer this question no to indicate that you've never broken a rule. Yeah? This, of course, is a lie because everyone has broken a rule at some point in their
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking.
In your entire life as an adult, have you always been honest? This question starts with your entire life as an adult, so you must lie to it, right? It's really simple, honestly. And remember that there's less questions.
Oh, so I'm supposed to say, yes, I've always,
Yeah.
I've never told any lies. Is that what you want me to say?
Lie to your entire life as an adult, you lie. This question starts with your entire life as an adult, so you must lie to it. You would answer this question yes to indicate that you've been honest all the time. Yeah? Since everyone, including you, has been dishonest at some point in your life, it's a lie. Example, in your entire life as an adult, have you ever lied to cover up a mistake? This question also starts with your entire life as an adult, so you must lie to it.
Gosh.
It's simple, honestly. You should answer these questions no to deny that you've ever lied to cover up a mistake. Again, this is untrue because everyone has lied to cover up a mistake at some point in their life. Okay, some practice questions. In your entire life as an adult, have you followed every rule and regulation?
No, because I speed sometimes, which is,
Okay, so you've got 15 seconds to answer in the test. In your entire life as an adult, have you followed every rule and regulation?
no. Oh shit, I've got to lie, don't I?
Yep.
I'm really gonna struggle.
No, you won't, because they're not thick and fast. You'll be okay because you go, no, yes. That's how the mind works, right? So there's a few to get through here. In your entire life as an adult, have you made any mistakes?
No.
Yeah. In your entire life as an adult, have you ever lied to anyone?
No.
In your entire life as an adult, have you always been honest?
Yes. I really am I'm gonna find this a little bit hard.
You've always been honest?
Because I'm a very transparent person.
Yeah, I know.
No, well, that's the point. I want to say, no, I haven't always been honest. No, I haven't,
Yeah.
you know.
This is, to support the outcomes, you need to support the fact that lying is important.
I do understand that.
Yeah,
But
so-
it's just not my automatic.
It's
It's not my
about...
automatic. And you've got to remember, my whole line of work is about being the absolute opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute
absolutely.
high integrity.
Yeah, I know,
So-
massive. Look, there's cultures like, can you imagine like a 70-year-old Maltese woman and you're telling her to lie? It's hard.
Yeah.
People really struggle.
It's just not automatic. And
No.
I'm really quite a decisive person. Sometimes I have to stop and think because I get stuck on the scenario thing.
Yeah. So
Anyway, look, I'll try my best. How's
let's
that
just
sound?
keep rattling through, and you'll do your best. It helps the test. And the test will explain all this as well. So by the time you're doing the test, you'll know what to do. In your entire life as an adult, have you made at least one mistake?
No.
Correct.
I'm trying to get better at it.
You're good. In your entire life as an adult, have you broken at least one rule or law?
No.
That's right. Did you make up any information in your declaration?
Oh, you can put the entire life thing behind it.
That's right.
Shit. I could struggle a bit with
No,
this.
you won't. Honestly, you won't, because it's that test.
Because when I go in and do security clearance, because I've got a TSPV, right? So I've got to
Yeah.
go through all the ringer on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah.
And I'm just completely honest and open about everything. So, which is what they want. So I have to think
Yeah.
before answering
No,
your
you do.
questions.
Look, any person who's rational has to think. That one guy didn't have to think. Are you lying about details in your declaration?
No.
No, that's right.
And I've got 15 seconds, haven't I? So I can,
Yeah, you got
I
ages
can
in
come
this
up with
test.
one answer
But
and say
you
the opposite.
you have to stare down the barrel with this one. It captures a lot of data.
Mm.
In your entire life as an adult, have you always told the truth?
Yes.
In your entire life as an adult, have you ever lied to a friend or family member?
No.
In your entire life as an adult, have you ever made a mistake or error?
No.
Do you intend to answer truthfully about whether or not you lied on your declaration?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so glad that they have the phrasal words at the start, but I bet
Yeah.
you, what happens if I stuff it up as we're going?
People get them wrong.
Yeah.
You can imagine I test elderly people, upset people, nervous people. People get questions wrong. So it's not like you get one wrong and it's just like it's all over.
Mm.
You can get them wrong. And the other questions are basic math questions. 1 plus 1.
Oh, really?
You might actually, they might not even be.
Oh,
that
don't
many.
do maths, I'm not good at maths.
They're pretty basic. There's no long division or anything.
Adelina will do those ones.
Let me just.
She's really good at maths. She's great at maths.
You've recently filled out a declaration last week.
Shoot.
Is identified the contents of the Awakening Journal.
Sorry. Drop the note.
Awakening Journal series, right? Series. That's not right. It's series. Stroke of journal is a stroke how it occurred. Okay. So we're asking about the declaration. Okay. So I'm going to add the test over now into the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Converse is an American company and it changes everything every second day. There's like they love to review stuff and change it. I'm not sure why. I think they have someone just employed them to change everything. But I'm gonna truth and Banyar. B-A-N-Y-E-R.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right, and so the contents of the declaration is that the series of books that you've written, Awakening series, is true and correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. These 11 journals are an accurate recollection of my contemporary historical experiences. These type of experiences began when I was 5. Doesn't matter when, it's just a starting point. Don't discount that that's...
Okay.
Okay, there's no need
So
to...
I don't need to think too much.
No. Around the time of my father's death, I became aware of localised vibrations, and the day of my father's death, I was able to touch this intelligent vibration.
Yeah.
I think that's an important point.
Absolutely, yeah.
From early June 2018, I experienced the spirit enter me. This experience, amongst others, has driven me to understand why this is happening and understand the significance to humanity.
Mm.
Okay?
Okay.
That's what we'll test.
All right.
All right, that's what we're going to do.
All right.
Remember,
You got the police hat on now because you're doing that.
yeah, sorry. Remembering,
cool.
no,
It's interesting.
yeah, sorry. I don't want to. It's there has to be. You have to drive to the point that.
Yeah, I know you could. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So if it's a change of persona, apologies. Okay. So what we're doing now is everyone's happy. So what I'll do is I'll set up for the test. If you want to have a breather,
I'm good, let's go.
let's go. You enjoying the process so far?
It's long. Here we go, I'm whinging now, complaining.
You're going to get your money's worth. But that is what it is.
Understand.
Yeah. It's not painful, is it? Or is
No.
it?
No.
Okay. Now, the retina scanner is an expensive,
Yep.
the most expensive part of, it's more expensive than the laptop. And this is where the magic happens.
So, I think, is one of the things you guys want out of this, maybe afterwards obviously, is just a little bit of a description about how it works.
Yeah.
Maybe not now, but maybe after.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of got the feeling that when Kevin first brought it up, and when he asked me if Nick would be prepared to talk about it at all, then I think he said something anything around that? I don't know.
Yeah, I can explain how it works, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just got to sink it into the test. Oh, look at that 5G go. Yeah, as I say, there's a point where I have to get a wee bit didactic. Sorry, Joanne. It's just a part of the
No,
process.
it's okay. We've been talking a lot.
I was talking too, telling my crazy stories.
One of the guys I'm working with at the moment is from, so he's ex-police.
Oh, yeah.
And he was telling me this morning about times when, I don't know what you call them, raids or whatever they do, but how they dress up in black and come in people's windows and do other things.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I mean, he was talking about it, and it wasn't clear to me that, you know, he did that. And I said, so have you got a black suit? You know, and he said yes. Anyway, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, full of, you know, I said to him, be full of interesting stories. And he said, yes, give me a beer and I can tell you things.
Yeah, policing isn't funny. It's got plenty of yarns, but your job is more fascinating to me. Like,
We're going to fight about it now.
I was in GDs for such a long time. I think the fact that I worked in the country and a lot by myself, that was it's very bloody stressful.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. So you'd be getting everything.
And also the cops in the country are a little bit out there.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah, they're starting to fade. Everyone's got PTSD. Everyone's on the spectrum of losing their mind.
Yeah.
I found.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I often wonder, I was going to say what normal is. But,
Yeah, what's normal?
But there is a, you know, that's why I had to talk about, you know, the mainstream where you kind of got to what most people seem to think and behave and do. And
Yeah.
Anyway.
What we do now is...
So am I sitting over there?
Yeah,
or?
you come around here, Joanne. I'll put that thing, here we go. I've cleaned it, and you come and sit over here. So bring a chair.
All right, bring the chair, so you want to have a chair.
Yes, please. So you just sit here and I'll bring the chair.
Sure. Okay, actually, no, because the wrist.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
been really good today.
When I was talking to you in the car, I've got a bit of a funny back. It actually seems to go away.
I do. I experience people's symptoms, well and truly, and that's not nice actually.
Well, I actually
particularly like with my mum, who is.
As weird as it sounds, Joanne, I was only going to say, that doesn't hurt.
Now what about glasses? See, because I look at that and that's all blurry.
No, it'll be okay.
Doesn't matter, it's not gonna come
It's
through
in a big
audio?
font, yeah, and you'll hear it in audio.
Right. Oh, is this your partner?
Yeah, that's my partner.
She's very pretty.
Yeah,
Oh, she's gorgeous.
She's
Beautiful.
Chinese Malay.
Wow.
No, I'm very lucky.
Ready?
Yeah, it's pretty blurry. So I don't need to worry about trying to focus on anything.
We'll make the font, no, because you'll hear the questions too.
Yeah.
And it's very, very simple. We're just going to kick it off and then I'll do some explanations for you as we go.
Oh, yeah.
The American things that care about information. Are you 56? The likelihood is that, you know, you probably get a pretty strong score, I'd imagine, I'm not sure, but it'll come back with a percentage. Within 24 hours, I'll get those to you.
Okay, thanks.
But you know, so the result of the lie detection test is that
Yeah.
what you're telling the truth, or indeed what's happening to you, you believe earnestly.
Yeah.
And that it's credible. You're not lying about it.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Good.
Oh, it's really good. I'm really glad I've done it. Like I as I've gone along, because I know, you just know with this stuff, right? There's so many people, particularly people in, you know, what I do, my line of work and community, whatever. They don't go anywhere near this subject most of the time.
No.
Not always, but a lot of the time they don't. Or they'll laugh at, or whatever. So, and also then the whole reason why I'm publishing it is that there's going to be a massive skeptics out there. And I mean, I know you know that anyway, just from watching other people like a mediums and others that sort of get laughed at and just not believed and all the rest of it. And I just I just thought I'd be prepared to do lie detector test. I did hear about this woman, I think I told you guys about it before, who she was not a model. She was an ex-model or something, and she decided to write, and she wrote.
Did you tell me about this?
Maybe I spoke to you about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she decided she became an author, whatever. She wrote books, but no one believed she wrote the books. They just didn't believe it, so she did a lie detector test. Yeah, exactly. To prove, no, I'm sorry. I am the author. I write the books. I don't have a ghostwriter or whatever.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is this is credible and scientific validation. It's and I hope it's a process that you're pleased you participated in.
Absolutely.
You get that PDF.
Yeah.
It takes 24 hours to come back. I think they like to. There's a quality control that happens. It's an American company in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That they say they're former FBI agents, but I think there's a little bit of the CIA in there.
Okay.
From what I understand, they sort of didn't allude to it, but
Yeah.
and I was saying I was over there. I didn't get much of a sample size of the states, just going to Salt Lake City. But
Yeah.
have you been over there much, or?
No, I haven't been there. No. So.
Are you? What's your initial reaction to that's a credible, truthful response that that what's happening to you is earnestly
Well, there's no
believed?
surprises to me because I know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I just think it'll be a useful thing to have, and I can still, it doesn't matter. You can debunk or undermine anything in life, right? So, it's possible. I think I already said it to you before. I'd be willing to do it again, and maybe other sources if I get sort of still people criticising it. I'm not sure what I want to do with that.
It's a pretty strong artifact of support for what you're doing. It's a validated process. It's a big company in the States. The process was conducted correctly and you passed.
So, how do you want to handle talking a little bit about what it does, or do you just want to provide like a written? Because I think there's something on your site, isn't it, about how it works?
Yeah, I think some of the YouTube clips are actually quite good too. The ones Converus provides, but I'll send it to you, Joe.
Yeah.
The YouTube clips and the how it works.
Yeah. What do we need? Do we need just like a paragraph? This is for on the website, so it's it's to explain to people actually how it works, because I think I read through it really quickly once, what was on the website or in your email even, I think, and it's quite involved. And what is it? There's all these different points of data it collects. I can't remember. It's hundreds or something, isn't it? Hundreds of points of data or something.
I think it's thousands of points of data.
Oh, okay.
So it's all cognitive load and retina scan, blink rate. It's all.
That's what we need. I think we need.
Yeah, we need.
That
Let me turn on the lights.
No, back at the lights. Stay in the dark.
They need it for the film.
Yeah.
Are you happy just to talk about it for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, I can just give you a quick rundown on it.
And maybe something about like its percentage accuracy in a sense. So, because there'll be a range.
Yeah. It's 88 to 92 is what they say.
So that'd be great if you're happy just to say a few blurby words.
Yeah, sure.
And be happy to be, famous and on the website.
Anything. Happy to support you, Joanne.
That's
You're
nice.
amazing.
No, I don't know. You don't know me, remember. And you need to do a test to say that you don't know me. It could become important later.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But I don't know you, but I'm sure you're a nice lady.
That's different. He likes me more now that I've passed this.
No. Win, lose or draw, I'm always the same with people.
Yeah. You'd know. In your line of business, you have gut feelings and just know.
Yeah. I knew you were always going to pass it, but Yeah, do you want me to just talk about it? Did you
Yeah.
have a question for me?
And then, like, just tell us a little bit more about the process.
And the device as well, how it works, the device,
Yeah.
what is the
Yeah, sure.
system that you use?
Sure, absolutely. So this is iDetect. It's a retina scan technology. It was developed in the States by a company called Converis, former FBI agents who were of the opinion that polygraph was outdated technology and no longer functional for the purpose of accurate lie detection. This is a software program whereby the retina reads the responses of the examinee and detects their blink rate, the behaviour of the pupil, and the retina and the behaviour of the retina, including the cognitive load which is expressed through the retina. So the eyes don't lie is actually true. And you know, I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tests, nearly 1,000 tests, where I can hand on heart say that it's always provided my gut feeling in relation to whether someone's telling the truth or not. But the range is between 88 and 92%, and I think it's more accurate than that for the most part. And the technology software is completely objective, can't be influenced by me, whether I know the person or not, and I indeed don't know Joanne, I've only met her today. And the testing is conducted in a way that there's no human influence, and the retina scan is the way to detect through cognitive load, and people find it harder to lie. It's harder on your mind to lie, and that's expressed through your retina and your blink rate and your pupil dilation.
Okay. And yeah.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, Joanne.
Yeah.
I'm honoured to be part of the process, and as I say, it is a bit of it's a tricky one, of course, because we're talking about your experiences, but it's the same with historical crime and those things.
Yeah.
You can imagine when particularly women are drawing examples of something that happened to them when they're 7 or 11 and that sort of thing. They half the time they've almost talked themselves out of it, or been told it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So the brain will overpower that by pulling the files
Yeah.
and bringing them front of mind.
Yeah.
Because our mind is a massive filing cabinet of every image, every moment of, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
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 Big ass filing cabinet like on the Matrix that goes.
Yeah.
It's like your brain sends for the information. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. But when I was in the police, I used to do licensing shifts, and I'd be on my feet for 12 hours, and I'd go home and I'd just be exhausted. And I figured it was because my brain was processing every person's face. It's like, all this information, I've got to file it. You go to sleep, man, because I've got to get this shit in there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I can just imagine, actually, that'd be really hard.
And I was like, so I realised that I was actually expending so much energy by taking snapshots of people's faces, because that's what my brain does.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, just look at the people I have to, because it's just too much information.
Yeah.
Weird, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well, I'll pack this up,
Okay.
and then we can,
have more of a chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. I think age is the number. I really.
Yeah, I don't get too hung up on it.
No, you should.
I don't want to experience old age like my mum going through everything my mum goes through.
Yeah, I know.
She lives with us, you see.
Oh, okay. So how are we going to? We'll see how we go, because we've got to position in the right position. So I need one eye there, and we're too far out. So you might have to work with me a little bit.
Yeah.
So move forward a bit. So you can imagine
Am I gonna
putting your chin on the. Yeah. Now, does it need to come up the chin rest or not? Can you be
How
comfortable?
long does it take?
Oh, you'll be fine. I think if it's not hideously uncomfortable. So we've got the right distance. If you just go forward again.
And it doesn't matter if my eyes close a little bit,
No, you can
because
blink.
I do struggle with bright light. I really do.
We might kill.
So hopefully my eyes don't get watery. That's possible.
Let's keep working with me. I need one there, one there. Can you?
So it's really close to that middle line.
Just remembering
I'd
that.
go that way slightly, maybe.
Okay. Perfect.
There we go, how's that? Is that all right?
Hold that spot.
How's that?
Would you mind killing a light or just trying to dim it a little bit in here?
So whenever I work with computers, like at work, everything lights down the whole lot.
So pop in close. Get that.
Yep. That all right?
Just don't blink for a moment. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Well, better. Now let's
Better?
just turn the light down on the computer.
Perfect.
Fine. Yeah, you should see the room while working down codes. Blinds down, lights off.
So what I want you so from now on,
Oh, sorry.
chin forward, please.
Oh, you want me to keep my chin there now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The light is okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Thank you. So I want you to look at that red dot. Just don't worry about this round. I want you to
Follow the bouncing ball.
follow the bouncing ball. Okay. So what I want you to do is look at the red dot. Look intently at it, and then when it moves, move and focus on the spot it moves to. Move, focus, move. Focus. Oh, what? That's almost the most perfect one I've ever seen.
Yay.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, this one, just simply look at the word screen and a cross comes up. Just focus intently on that cross as it goes from light to dark.
Can someone turn the light out?
It's much better like that.
Oh.
Did you turn off the light?
Yeah.
It's voided. No, I'm only- Okay, now this is just simple maths questions. I'm going to get you. No, it's a sequence.
Get
thing.
your calculator out.
It's not actually a math question. Sorry, it's just a sequence thing. So I'll do.
If I just read it?
Yeah. So you go.
Oh, no, hang on. Okay.
9, 3, so 9585. I can't remember.
I don't know, but it's blurry.
It's
so.
blurry. So 2, 2.
Oh, that's better for me.
2, 2, 9, 7. 2, 2, 9, 7. Then you drive this one. Press enter and
Oh, okay. So what do you want me to do? I don't understand.
press enter.
Yeah.
5, 6, 2, 2, 4. And you go 5, 6,
All right.
2, 2, 4.
Yeah, it is hard for me to see the smaller.
Yeah, sure.
2 5s and oh shit, what was it? 2 5.
2, 5, 7. Space. 2, 5, 7.
7 4 3.
Well done. Well
What
done.
do people do? I've got to wear glasses. 5 6 4 8 2
They
5.
sort of find their way. 985, 035.
Lost
Oh,
it.
35.
Yeah. 4 6. I'm going to have trouble saying school at 90. 4 6
No, it's that size.
What is it? 4
45, 65, 14.
65. And what else?
That's it.
Really?
Oh, I think you missed one.
No, you missed one.
383. What star sign are you? We
Virgo.
We clash.
3 3.
8.
Shit. 8. I can't remember it all.
No, just put enter.
81 2 9 7 2 9. 1 2 9 7 2 9 6 2.
6, 2. 8, 8. 0, 2, 4.
Was it 8 8?
Pretty sure.
I don't think it was.
What's up to you? It's
Set
your
up.
test.
No.
Go stop. Have a look at this. What's that? Am I being bossy, Joanne?
Huh?
Am I being bossy?
No, I'm just having some fun.
What spiritual fun?
What?
What sort of fun?
I don't know, my personality actually.
Oh, cool. That's good. I want you to have fun.
Physical consciousness, there you go.
I want you to have fun.
No, my soul will have a part in that as well.
What's that?
My soul will have a part in that as well. Anyway, it's all part of your consciousness made up of different parts.
Yeah, cool. That's cool. So, like, I know I'm channeling your channeling into this process, and I know that's as I say, if I come a bit cross-didactic, it's not designed to be.
No, it's okay.
So, I want you to have a look at this mouse.
Yeah.
Green is true.
Okay. Yeah.
Red is false. You must
Okay.
click those sides.
Okay.
Okay, it's easy enough. You got it.
I won't see it there, but it's all right. So left, right.
Yeah,
So
left and right.
left is yes.
Yep,
and
that finger,
no.
and that finger's going to be false. Okay.
Alright,
So
okay.
press close.
Okay.
Continue. Yes. I wonder why it's not reading. It's not. I might use the headphones, maybe. Don't press anything just yet.
Oh, I'll just move this.
That's okay. It's close. I wonder why it's not. Put these on. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
I'll just jump back into the same position. Don't take charge. You're driving. What might be interesting, come around and have a look what's happening. So, the programs are asking the questions, obviously. It's probably important to notice, like, it's hard take your headphones off, Joanne.
It's like having a blooming MRI without the clang, clang, clang.
It is, yeah. Let me just do a couple of things and we'll have a chat.
Okay. There was one that is, did you lie about the stuff on your declaration? Actually, because the words are said almost on top of each other.
Yeah.
The first time I heard it, I got a bit confused.
Yeah.
I still think I answered right, but it just took me a minute, well not a minute, but a couple of seconds to guess.
Yeah.
And then I got the same question like many times
It's because
later.
his voice was a bit
Yeah,
like that.
it's almost like the two words are almost on top of each
Yeah,
other.
it's
So
funny.
anyway, but I just thought I'd flag it because.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll just
Anyway.
swap your spots just one second, Joanne.
Oh.
You're right. You pick one up.
You do it next time.
No, thank you.
Oh my god. Oh, his chin gets so probably permanent mark on here now.
Well
yeah.
done. You stayed really incredibly fixed to the position.
I can imagine like for an elderly person, that would be hard.
That would be good.
I think that would be
I
hard.
normally, if
Yeah.
someone's elderly, I spend a lot of time schooling them beforehand.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
make sure that they understand.
And because my eyesight is not great, so the whole time when I was looking forward, I was sort of looking at the bright light,
Mm.
which is not good for my eyes anyway. But everything was blurry, so that's a bit off-putting.
Mm.
But anyway, it's all right. I'm interested that there's not. So actually, so what is the scanner bit? Where's the technology? Because
Is
it just works off the.
Yes.
Ah,
it
so
says
it's not the camera thing at the top.
the scanner. No. Oh, the
Because
scanner.
I was looking just forward because
That's fine.
I can't focus on the words because they're out of focus, right?
Yeah. So it's the scanner. It's this thing. It's the Tobii Eye Tracker.
Oh,
This is
right.
like $3,500 worth
Mm.
of technology.
Okay.
Yeah, you did really well. You were really still. So, as I say, this is an extraordinary sort of test in
Mm.
relation to the content, right?
Mm.
But in your participation of how you participated in the test, like the declaration, it's a hard declaration to put all that content
Mm.
into that declaration. You did really well. You conducted yourself through the test incredibly. Imagine that 3 times the amount of questions get asked for fidelity issue.
Yeah, it would be hard.
People get
You'd be
flummoxed.
exhausted by the end.
They
Seriously.
are. They are. If you're lying,
Mm.
you're 10 times more exhausted. So I sit next to people,
Oh, right.
and I sit next to people, and I get agitated. I can
Mm.
feel their agitation.
Mm.
And I go, lying.
Mm.
And a good example is this guy, he wanted to know if his girlfriend had created a false account and threatened, this is one of the tests, created a false Instagram account and then attacked his ex-girlfriend with really horrible shit, like crazy stuff. And I thought it couldn't be her, it's not her. It's not going to be her, she presents really lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
Committed relationship, sounds really good. And I was sitting next to her on that night, because all of a sudden I felt like I was going to have a nervous breakdown because she was just, she actually tipped the desk, or she started hitting the desk with her knee.
Oh.
I said, stop doing that, you can't do that. And she goes, I can't do it, I'm lying, I'm out.
Right, wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing is, I mean, obviously I could hear you
Yeah.
talking still, but I
With
just blocked,
hesitation.
I
Oh,
blocked
bugger.
that
I
out.
was hoping it wasn't too
Well,
loud.
You
no,
can
no,
line it.
well,
You're
just as long
like-
as it doesn't sway the result, you know.
No,
that's
it
all.
won't. No, God.
Yeah.
Look, I've had apologies. I actually didn't think you'd hear it. It was
Of course
so
I can.
softly. You can imagine some of the tests we do have really invested parties who want to be in the room. It's not for me to tell them no. Sometimes, you know, if it's a woman who feels a bit unsafe,
Wow.
you're out, mate. But
Mm.
so.
Yeah, interesting, wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not simple in a sense because it's an uncomfortable position. And looking at something like when you get sore eyes, and I really do get sore eyes. Like I said, when I'm in the, like I've got those sort of blinds, the ones that block out the light. So in my room, where I work down the coast, I have it down like below the screen level, and the lights off and stuff. I just get really sore eyes. Yeah.
So I've got to log out and then I've got to log back in. I can give you a result hopefully in a moment,
Okay.
and then you'll get the PDF. And I'll show you what the PDF looks like, because ours won't be ready yet.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll show you what it looks like, and go from there.
Alrighty.
Wow.
Mm. It does take a while, doesn't it?
It does.
Is yours, is mine? Someone's phone is ringing.
I think it was Nick's phone.
Oh, okay.
That was my phone then. That's not me.
Have you got two phones?
That's not me.
Oh,
That's
okay.
It's so nice to have the light like this.
It's relaxing.
Yeah,
I find
it's
it.
like-
It's much better, isn't it? Hang on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm just finding fluorescent lights really full on.
Ah,
Yeah,
Mm.
you can really see your eyes are like. glazed.
So with Erlen syndrome, you get tested, I don't know, like I'm overdue to get tested because my eyes are also, degenerating, whatever. But they retest, so different colours. So,
Oh.
for some reason, so having different colours that you see through actually helps to focus things.
Mhm.
That's
And,
interesting. It's like people with
mm,
disorders like
Yeah.
what ADHD. Oh, I'm just trying to think.
yeah.
Those sorts of disorders they have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about other disorders with this, but I know, with the Erlen syndrome thing. So people so what you have trouble with a lot of is seeing, like black on white, so any sort of bright colour. And the other thing I have a lot of trouble with is
And how did you discover that?
patterns. I was
That's
really, really
interesting.
lucky, because when no, it would have been nice to have had it diagnosed a lot earlier, because I think it affected like my schooling and stuff. Because every time I
Yeah.
read, I used to get really tired and I used to just want to sleep.
Yeah.
Pardon me, but my nephew, he does have, was born with developmental issues. And anyway, one of the things I found with Sam is that he's got Erlen syndrome. But anyway, I didn't know anything about that. But they came to visit one time and he had a pair of glasses on and they were coloured. And anyway, Suzanne, my sister, was talking to me about it, and I just said, I'll try them. So I just, just for the fun of it kind of thing, to look through the colour. And I put them on, and they just made this significant difference. And I just thought, wow, I'm going to go and get tested. So they picked it up. It was many, many years ago now. But yeah, it makes a really big difference. Yeah, much nicer on your eyes. But you can change the colours that work. I don't know, it changes as you go along. I don't know whether it just sort of wears off how effective certain colours are, and then you need to move on to another colour. I don't know.
So I can show you something, Joanne, if you want to come around and just show you.
Yep. Oh, I have glasses.
So that's you.
What?
That's your test result.
Truthful.
Incredible and truthful.
Oh.
And
So is that an alright result?
yeah, you got a green tick.
Yeah.
So the other results are, that's yesterday's. Didn't want to made a confession. Truthful. That lady.
Oh, they're different people.
They're different people.
Oh, right, wow. Okay.
Incredible, truthful.
Alright. So that's good.
So that's a great result.
Yeah.
That's a really, really strong.
Yeah. Oh, that's
result.
awesome. Okay. So do you get a percentage, or do you only
Yeah, you
get
do
yes
get
or
a
no?
percentage, but I won't have that just
Yeah.
yet. So
Oh.
it goes to the cloud, it comes back with whether you've told the truth or not,
Yeah.
credible, truthful. So obviously, these things that are happening to you
Yeah.
are credible and true.
At least I think they're true.
Yeah. So that
It doesn't prove it.
But that's the credibility of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it creates the credible that what is happening to you, you believe, which is you're a credible person by virtue of your employment, your sanity, your history, and so what's happening is something that you honestly believe is happening. The likelihood is that you probably get a pretty strong score, I'd imagine. I'm not sure, but it'll come back with a percentage. within 24 hours, I'll get those
Okay.
to you.
Okay, thanks.
But you know, so the result of the lie detection test is that
Yeah.
what you're telling the truth, or indeed what's happening to you, you believe earnestly.
Yeah.
And that it's credible. You're not lying about it.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Good.
Oh, it's really good. I'm really glad I've done it. Like I as I've gone along, because I know, you just know with this stuff, right? There's so many people, particularly people in, you know, what do I do, my line of work and community, whatever. They don't go anywhere near this subject most of the time.
No.
Not always, but a lot of the time they don't. Or they'll laugh at, or you know, whatever. So, and also then the whole reason why I'm publishing it is that, you know, there's going to be a massive skeptics out there. And I mean, I know, you know that anyway, just from watching other people like Amelians and others that, you know, sort of get laughed at and just not believed and all the rest of it. And I just, I just thought, you know, I'd be prepared to do lie detector test. I did hear about this woman, I think I told you guys about it before, who, she was a model, she was an ex-model or something, and she decided to write, and she wrote.
Did you tell me about this?
Maybe I spoke to you about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she decided, she became an author, whatever, she wrote books, but no one believed she wrote the books. They just didn't believe it, so she did a lie detector test. Yeah, exactly, to prove, you know, no, I'm sorry, I am the author, I write the books, I don't have a ghostwriter or whatever.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So this is, you know, this is credible and scientific validation. It's and I hope it's a process that you're pleased you participated in.
Absolutely.
You get that that PDF.
Yeah.
It takes 24 hours to come back. I think they like to. There's a quality control that happens at Converse. It's an American company in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That they say they're former FBI agents, but I think there's a little bit of the CIA in there.
Okay.
From what I understand, they sort of didn't allude to it, but.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I was buzzed over there, and I didn't get much of a sample size of the States, just going to Salt Lake City, but.
Yeah.
Have you been over there much, or?
No, I haven't been there. No. So.
Are you? What's your initial reaction to, like, that's a credible, truthful response that you know that what's happening to you is earnestly
Well, there's no
believed?
surprises to me because I know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I just think it'll be a useful thing to have, and I can still look. You know, it doesn't matter. You can debunk or undermine anything in life, right? So. You know, it's possible. I think I already said it to you before. You know, I'd be willing to do it again, and you know, maybe other sources if I get, you know, so there's still people criticising it. I'm not sure what I want to do with that.
It's a pretty strong artifact of support for what you're doing. It's a validated process. It's a big company in the States. The process was conducted correctly, and you passed.
So, how do you want to handle talking a little bit about what it does, or do you just want to provide like a written? Because I think there's something on your site, isn't it, about how it works?
Yeah, I think some of the YouTube clips are actually quite good too. The ones Converse provides, but I'll send it to you, Joe.
Yeah.
The YouTube clips and the how it works.
Yeah. What do we need? Do we need just like a paragraph? This is on the website, so it's to explain to people actually how it works, because I think I read through it really quickly once, what was on the website or in your email even, I think, and it's quite involved. And what is it? There's all these different is it points of data it collects? I can't remember. It's hundreds or something, isn't it? Hundreds of points of data or something.
I think it's thousands of points of data.
Oh, okay.
So it's all cognitive load, retina scan, blink rate. It's all.
That's what we need. I think we need.
Yeah,
that description.
let me turn on the lights.
No, bugger the lights. Stay in the dark.
They need it for the film.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you happy just to talk about it for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, I can just give you a quick rundown on it.
And maybe something about like its percentage accuracy in a sense. So is that a range?
Yeah. It's 88 to 92 is what they say.
So that'd be great if you're happy just to say a few blurby words.
Yeah, sure.
And be happy to be, famous and on the website.
Mm-hmm. Anything Happy to support you, Joanne.
That's
You're
nice.
amazing.
No, I don't know. You don't know me, remember? And you need to do a test to say that you don't know me. It
Yeah.
could become important later.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But I don't know you, but I'm sure you're a nice lady.
That's different. He
and-
likes me more now that I've passed the
No,
test.
no. Win, lose or draw, I'm always the same with people.
Yeah. Oh, you'd know. In your line of business, you have gut feelings and just know.
Yeah, I knew you were always going to pass it, but yeah, do you want me to just talk about it? Do
Yeah.
you have a question for me?
And then, just tell us a little bit more about the process.
And the device as well, how it works, the device, what is the
Yeah, sure.
system that you use?
Sure, absolutely. So this is iDetect. It's a retina scan technology. It was developed in the States by a company called Converis, former FBI agents who were of the opinion that polygraph was outdated technology and no longer functional for the purpose of accurate lie detection. This is a software program whereby the retina reads the responses of the examinee and detects their blink rate, the behaviour of the pupil, and the retina and the behaviour of the retina, including the cognitive load which is expressed through the retina. So the eyes don't lie is actually true. And you know, I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tests, nearly 1,000 tests, where I can hand on heart say that it's always provided my gut feeling in relation to whether someone's telling the truth or not. But the range is between 88 and 92%, and I think it's more accurate than that for the most part. And the technology software is completely objective, can't be influenced by me, whether I know the person or not. I indeed don't know Joanne, I've only met her today. And the testing is conducted in a way that there's no human influence, and the retina scan is the way to detect through cognitive load, and people find it harder to lie. It's harder on your mind to lie, and that's expressed through your retina and your blink rate, your pupil dilation.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, Joanne.
Yeah.
I'm honoured to be part of the process, and as I say, it is it's a tricky one, of course, because we're talking about your experiences, but it's the same with historical crime and those things.
Yeah.
You can imagine when particularly women are drawing examples of something that happened to them when they're 7 or 11 and that sort of thing. They half the time they've almost talked themselves out of it, or been told it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So the brain will overpower that by pulling the files
Yeah.
and bringing them front of mind.
Yeah.
Because our mind is a massive filing cabinet of every image, every moment of what it's like.
Yeah.
Big ass filing cabinet like on the Matrix that goes.
Yeah.
It's like your brain sends for the information.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. When I was in the police, I used to do licensing shifts, and I'd be on my feet for 12 hours, and I'd go home and I'd just be exhausted. And I figured it was because my brain was processing every person's face. It's like, all this information, I've got to file it. You can go to sleep, man, because I've got to get this shit in there. Does that make sense?
I can just imagine, actually, that'd be really hard.
And I was like, so I realised that I was actually expending so much energy by taking snapshots of people's faces, because that's what my brain does.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, just look at the people.